program called Insanity by Sean T, the athlete. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to talk for maybe a couple of minutes, which maybe is very boring, because I'm going to go yak, 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 but hopefully the information is going to be very interesting. Then I will do the class, and we have Irish human beatbox Michael Cullen, who will be providing the sound. And we're going to go through a warm-up, and then we're going to go into some really quite frighteningly hard fitness tests. And the structure is you just do as much as you can within it. So you don't over-push yourself, you just do what you can within the minute. It's all 1 minute and a break, 1 minute. But don't worry, we'll go through it together. The first part I was going to say, I will just be talking for a little bit, so I'll just have a go at doing that. It's that I wanted to tell you about the reason that I'm doing the performance. It's that I was invited by BOZAR to contribute to Yves Klein, the Yves Klein show, which is here, which is exciting. And I imagine why I was invited was because I made a reenactment of the anthropometry painting in around 2002 in London, and I found that my first initial engagement with it was that I was actually not so sincere. I was quite laughing and jokey about Yves Klein, but the more I researched him, I became really respectful and impressed and inspired. I went to visit the actual judo hall where he trained and worked in London, and I went up this very strange little staircase to the top, and there were these, maybe 40 men, black belts, in combat, and it was a very intense experience because it smelled of almost like testosterone in the air. It was really intense. So I went through various levels of research, and in my personal research I came across that he was doing amphetamines and judo. So I found the level of his intensity quite exciting. Also I was very inspired by obviously his gesture and audacity to sign the sky and to package and market the void. Really exciting. What I had in mind for the performance was to invite my brother, who's a 4th Dan Kudo Zen archer, and I wanted him to shoot an arrow through the space, because you can do it blindfold. It's to do with the Tai Chi moves, and you hit the targets through your meditation rather than through your concentrating, trying to achieve. You almost let go and it works. But when I asked him, he refused. He said he didn't want Kudo to be, he basically was explaining the Kudo community wouldn't want art to bastardize it. It's too pure. And that made me think again about the relationship of Zen with Yves Klein and his relationship with judo. I was thinking then instead possibly that I could present a piece called Insanity that I made for the ICA for Guillaume Van Damme and Josh Wright, these two boys here, these artists. They put on a show in the ICA as part of Fig 2 in 2015, and they made a gym, and they invited artists to put on classes within this gym. They invited me to do a yoga class, and I was not in any way interested because I've never really done yoga. But I began to research it, and I watched this fantastic documentary on Al Jazeera TV called Who Owns Yoga? And it's an incredible investigation into the massive industry that's happened around yoga recently. So it's very amazing to know that there is not only rave yoga, but there is boxing yoga, there's rocket yoga, and there is yoga. So there's a lot of different types of yoga out there. And then on top of that, there's clever world wrestling champions like Diamond Dollar Page, I think his name is. For example, he through injury came to yoga and then started remarketing it. And his slogan is, "It ain't your mama's yoga." And he openly says he takes away the spiritual mumbo jumbo and tries to present yoga as a formal just a physical product or process. And this is what the documentary investigates very much, is if you can take away the spirituality away from the physical experience. And again, I think this links really nicely to Yves Klein. And I would say that the documentary is fantastic because it investigates the use of yoga as a political tool, because the massive, huge explosion of interest in yoga in the West has actually made a revival in India of yoga, and that's even been used politically as well for the Nationalist Party, the Hindu Nationalist Party. So it's super interesting. Couldn't recommend it more. Fantastic. But then another documentary is with, I don't know if you know the actor called Dominic West. He's in The Wire and various other films. He has a childhood friend who has been investigating the history of yoga all his life, and he's done full off-the-veranda anthropology of immersing himself and being a sadhu in India. And this documentary is called West Meets East. Again, it's recent, and I was going to say, is anyone missing this program? Because the program has a lot of these references, so if anyone wants the program, can you hand those up? Thanks. So, in this documentary, it clearly says that, very like, they call it the pizza effect, but when something's made in one country, and say so, for example, pizza in Sicily, but then it's taken to America, becomes something else, like, you know, deep-fried fat pizza, and then is resold back to Sicily as a different product almost. That seems to be what's happening with yoga. There's a lot of fusion, and interestingly, he researches and finds out that some of through his lifetime of, you know, becoming a sadhu, he understands that the salutation from the sun, move from the sun is, for example, only 100 years old. And that these moves are very much brought together through a mixture of Swedish bodybuilding, British military drill, and gymnastics. So it's not in any way just a pure link to Hindu ascetics and sadhus and holy men. And the movements and positions of the holy men that are really integrally sort of ancient are much more these really incredibly twisted ones, you know. You sort of know these ones where they're unbelievably sort of twisted up. They're the really sort of more Hindu ancient moves. So I found all of this extremely interesting because in art you're endlessly appropriating and endlessly mixing cultures and dabbling where you maybe shouldn't. And I found that, again, I found some really enjoyable sort of links through some of the American really tough salesmanships of yoga. One of them is trying to patent it. And they've made, for example, a corridor down the set of mats with the teacher in one end and the camera at a certain angle. They've actually patented it. So now, if anyone else uses that setup, they'll make money by suing them and saying, no, that's ours. So there's a lot of interesting ways that it can be seen as a metaphor for commercialization of the world and attitudes. And again, I find it really disturbingly linked to some of Yves Klein's ideas of selling the zone or the ideas of Zen. And I'm not trying to put you off or say that I'm mocking Yves Klein in any way. I find that it's more just a way of making his work seem relevant and that you're just including him in your thought process. For now, I've said enough perhaps. I've arranged for some of the pieces of information I've been saying succinctly to be translated by my friends who are Dutch, not Flemish but Dutch, so I hope that's okay, and French. And I'd love them to read them because I know that you're all fluent in English. It's just for me, I'm always really interested in this, to have some of these texts read out. They're very short, little paragraphs, but I can hand over to that.
Mathilde, do you want to go first?
Alors, des dates datant de plus de 2 millénaires, qui appartenaient à Alexandre le Grand, décrivent des hommes tenant des poses difficiles sous un soleil brûlant. La plupart des positions de yoga que vous connaissez actuellement, comme la salutation au soleil, en vérité n'auraient pas plus de 100 ans. Le yoga traditionnel a été donc transformé, adapté, changé au travers des siècles et a été influencé par la gymnastique suédoise, le bodybuilding et des exercices militaires britanniques. L'explosion du yoga en Occident a ramené beaucoup d'intérêt en Inde et on peut remarquer un tourisme du yoga. On peut appeler ça l'effet pizza. La pizza, qui a été importée de Sicile jusqu'à New York, a subi des modifications, des transformations dans sa recette et devient tout autre chose. Et c'est de cette manière-là qu'on la retrouve aujourd'hui en Italie.
2000 jaar geleden zag Alexandra de Grote hele gevarieerde, moeilijke posities worden gevormd in de brandende zon. Yoga-posities. Traditionele yoga is aangepast en door de tijden heen veranderd. En beïnvloedt onder andere door gymnastiek, Britse militaire oefeningen en bodybuilding. De hype in het Westen heeft ervoor gezorgd dat er een hedendaagse opleving van yoga in India heeft plaatsgevonden. Ze noemen dit het pizza-effect. De pizza ging van Sicilië naar Amerika, naar New York, veranderde in iets anders en kwam weer terug in Sicilië in een nieuwe vorm. Dus zo ook yoga. Maar wie bezit yoga eigenlijk? En wat betekent het dat er wereldkampioenschappen yoga zijn? Waarom zou je zen zijn als je ook fantastisch bent? Yoga is seculier, aangepast aan wie het beoefent. De sociale wetenschap heeft ondervonden en aangetoond dat zelfs door alleen de bewegingen te maken er al een spirituele transformatie plaatsvindt. Yoga is tegenwoordig ook gepatenteerd door een aantal verschillende partijen en is voor sommige partijen dus ook intellectueel eigendom, bestaande uit welke potjes je kan gebruiken en de hoek van de cameralens. Heel veel plezier vandaag.
I'm going to say one more piece of information that's quite important that I relay is that the videos, these fantastic videos of the edits, are a piece of work that was from this invitation where I made this performance maybe the first time to develop it. It was Guillaume Van Damme and Josh Wright's work, and I just was going to tell you that after our exercise class and when we're doing the stretches and relaxing, after it gets very intense, we'll be doing a lot of shouting. I wanted to ask you, also I'll tell you about that in a second, I just wanted to tell you that Guillaume and Josh will explain and talk about them just for a little bit to have a nice calm down chat. So one more thing is, are you missing programs? Is anyone still curious to have a program that they don't have at the back or anywhere? Everyone's happy? No? Okay. Alright. So the next thing is, I would love it if during the exercise, if you would feel empowered to shout at us things like, pump it up, decide, commit, succeed, decide, commit, succeed. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Various encouragements would be wonderful. I don't mind if they're in your own gut reaction, whatever you want to say. I think last time someone was shouting, "You're beautiful!" So, and also I should warn you that we did do this at 11 o'clock, so we'll see how fit we are at 3 o'clock. I think that's everything at the moment. Does everyone feel that that's everything? I'm going to introduce Michael Cullen, Irish beatboxer, human beatboxer.
Don't be sick.
Hey everyone, good afternoon, bonjour. I'm Guillaume.
And I'm Josh.
And we are Brian Van Dam, and we are an artist collective. Can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear me? So, first off, I want to say thank you, Marvin, for inviting us to take part in this awesome exercise class. And also thank you everyone who took part in the class, either people in the class or just watching us take part in the class. This wouldn't be happening without me. Give everyone a round of applause. Second off, the reason why we're here right now is because we're talking about these videos which you can see behind me. And it's a work of art which we made in 2015 for Fig 2 at the ICA for our exhibition Art Gym. And this is a work of art called 180. It's 180 minutes of 125 exercise videos from the late 70s to today. So there's something for everyone, really. As long as you have a body, this relates to you. You know, it's about questioning, what it means to be a man or a woman. It's about questioning what it means to be beautiful. We look at ourselves through so many different eyes. We look at ourselves through television, we look at ourselves through advertising, we look at ourselves through the cinema. Whether it's through these anonymous exercise videos or through celebrities like Bruce Jenner, now Caitlyn Jenner, or LaToya Jackson, or Jane Fonda, or Cher, or many other celebrities that you might admire, actors, actresses, models. These are the people who have made exercise videos and have affected the way we look at the world. So the work of art functions on different levels. On one hand, it's kind of an archive of different historical moments from the late 70s to now. Look at the way people dress, their hairstyles, what they think is fashionable or what is beautiful, to where we are now. And what I love about this work of art is it's called 180 because it's kind of about that paradigm shift. You can never really look at the same thing twice. And so in a way, you're constantly happening one of three different places, one of three different times at any given moment. And my hope is that you can take something away from it. Maybe you can accept yourself as you are. Maybe you might be empowered to be who you are or who you want to be. And that, I think, is the core strength of this work of art. And I hope after this class today, you might be inspired to maybe do some of these exercise classes or poses and just have fun with it. Thank you.
So, back up.